Welcome back to Recap It. Today we are going to recap a 2020 thriller drama movie titled Search Out. A girl commits suicide in the villa complex where Jun Hyuk, who aspires to be a police officer, lives. Soon later, Jun Hyuk receives a weird social media message. But before we begin, please consider subscribing to this channel. Now without wasting any further time, let's begin, shall we? The film begins with a sociopath who receives and completes weird Instagram missions. The tasks include overnight viewing of a secret movie, isolation for 24 hours, self-harm, and a final mission that has yet to be revealed. Enough with the mystery, now it's time to meet our primary characters. Jun is a nice young man who aspires to work in an office. He is, however, a cashier in real life. Sung, a religious friend, is another one of his friends. Someone who aspires to be a cop yet works as a courier. They both live in the same building. Jun is an Instagram influencer with 12,000 followers who enjoys assisting individuals in promoting their businesses. This is how Jun meets a woman who can assist her in expanding her psychology consulting firm. What is her name? For a noble cause, she provides free career counseling to low-income persons. One day, Jun and Sung's neighbor receives an unusual message from Instagram account Ereshkigal, which includes a black and white whale photo. She is questioned about the meaning of her existence and receives even more gloomy responses via text message. Neighbor is one of the 12,000 Jun followers. She wants to talk to Jun about her unhappiness about becoming an idol star in Seoul, but he rejects her because he is worried that Neighbor would find out that he is a loser in real life. A shadowy figure patrols the neighborhood, photographing Neighbor. Sung almost collides with Stalker on his way home, but Stalker doesn't say anything and walks away. A detective came into their building the next day to inform them that their neighbor had committed suicide. He also inquires about it with Jun and Sung. Jun decides to look into it deeper because of his guilt about rejecting his neighbor. Ereshkigal sends Jun a message one day, inquiring about the meaning of life. When Jun notices the weird message, he deletes it. Suddenly, Jun's Instagram account messages him, asking him to respond to the question. Sung, taken aback by the incident, joins Jun to discover the cause. They arrived at Ereshkigal's Instagram profile, which is full of gloomy and depressing imagery, including a shot of a black and white whale. They confront Ereshkigal on Instagram and accuse him of murdering Neighbor. A sociopath is seen in another location looking at the whale photo that frequently appears in the strange communications. Jun and Sung report the peculiarity to Detective, who is in charge of Neighbor's case, but Detective refuses to look into it further. The inquiry is now closed, according to the detective, because the reasons are evident. They anxiously seek the assistance of a gangster boss in their investigation. Nori is a gangster member. I made the decision to join the team as a hacker. Ereshkigal is an alias for a Sumerian underworld goddess, she discovered. Nori attempted to find down Ereshkigal's IP address but was unsuccessful. As a result, she made the decision to track down everyone who had visited the account. Many of the people who have visited the Ereshkigal Instagram account have died, much to their astonishment. Due to their trauma, Jun and Sung visit the victims' families but are refused. A stalker follows them while they visit the families. When Jun and Sung realize this, they pursue Stalker, but he manages to flee. Following the chase, Jun and Sung receive some unsettling news. Ereshkigal asks the same question in response to no post. Rees. What exactly is the purpose of life? When she realizes she's being followed by Stalker, she uses a taser to draw him in and capture him. Stalker claims that Ereshkigal was someone he knew from social media. They became friends and stayed in touch after that. Ereshkigal, on the other hand, promised to divulge Stalker's secrets if he didn't do his bidding one day. As a result, Ereshkigal sent him to gather information on the victims. Despite being intimidated initially, Stalker became addicted to prying into people's personal lives and continues to assist Ereshkigal. Ereshkigal will use the information from Stalker to infiltrate the victims' minds via social media, causing tension to the point where the victims commit themselves. The investigator accuses Sociopath of being Ereshkigal the next day and raids his home. Sociopath, on the other hand, shot himself and died as his final task from Ereshkigal. Detective informs Jun that Ereshkigal is no longer alive and that he may relax. Nori, on the other hand, is intrigued and continues her investigation. After that, Ereshkigal sends a message to Nori, causing her tension. Nori falls into the trap and decides to commit suicide as a result of her personal depression. Jun and Sung, however, save her. Sung enrages and provokes Arish Kigal through his live streamer webcast, friends seeing that Arish Kigal has arrived in Nori. After that, Arish Kigal contacts Sung. He, on the other hand, falls into his trap. Sung is assigned missions identical to those given to Sociopath by Arish Kigal. Fortunately, June enters the room unexpectedly and saves Sung. Nori told June about the cause for her attempt in the hospital. She also gives June information on Arish Kigal in order to assist him in catching the criminal. June also seeks assistance from his live streamer pal. Throughout the action, June is pursued and confronted by a large number of Arish Kigal supporters. Sung arrives at June's aid and saves him. The detective, on the other hand, is present and points a gun at June's head. June is kidnapped and taken to the headquarters of Arish Kigal. After kidnapping June, detective asks that Arish Kigal keep his commitment to keep his secrets hidden. The woman who had previously contacted June, turns out to be Arish Kigal. Sociopath was just one of her many puppets. To hide her identity, one urged Sociopath to commit suicide and detective to raid the location. One explains that she is seeking vengeance on June. June used social media 3 years ago to complain about a moldy fried chicken. The eatery was boycotted when the post went viral. The company's parent was also investigated by authorities and eventually went bankrupt. The company's owner is One's father, who died shortly after the tragedy. One attempted to murder June by inducing psychological pain through her messages on Arish Kigal. However, things spiraled out of control, and she injured a large number of individuals, particularly those close to June. One orders the detective to assassinate June at the headquarters. Meanwhile, in a parking lot, One's followers attempt to murder Sung. Nori and the gang members, on the other hand, arrive to save them. One is pursued by June to the rooftop, where she is confronted once more. One maintains her composure because she recognizes that June lacks sufficient evidence to convict her. June, on the other hand, used a covert camera provided by Live Streamer to record One's confession in the headquarters. One attempted suicide by jumping off the building. Fortunately, the cops arrive and save her from committing suicide. The killings are then linked to One. June reworks his attitude to social media at the end of the film. He shares the entire story of the moldy fried chicken and One's confession, stating that he welcomes any and all feedback. He also admits to working part-time as a cashier without hiding it. And this is where the movie ends. I hope you enjoyed it. As always, until next time.